Hello and welcome to the Darkest Zone. Thank you for joining me. Today we're playing the game Ars Notoria and we're doing play testing tonight, and this game's going to be very short. I've already put about 4 hours into this build, this character. I've been able to unlock most of the benches that they allow you to unlock. Here are what they look like in the game. I'm going to go over the build interface here in a second to show you all the new stuff they've added. The game allows you to build your own homes in the game. This is my first foundation I put down. Really, I'm just testing things, making sure that things are working correctly. And let's just go to the build interface. So under the build interface, why don't we start here on the side, distiller. They added this new bench. I have not yet made it yet. So I'll be excited to see what the results are, what I can make with it. This is another, it looks like another type of bench, and then storage, salt storage. And there's salt nodes in the game that allow you to extract the salt out of the ground by using a pickaxe. So that's how you use those. Here there's some new a resin tapping tool, like maple syruping, an oil press, and an herb storage. Again, these are new crafting benches that they just added to the game. Okay, here, these are the two benches that were in the game already. So those are working. I did test those. Those are working fine. These are working good. This is a new item to the game. It's called a hauling machine. And you put that over peat, and that allows you to bring in peat automatically into your global storage, and you can use it as a fuel, and you need to use it to build and craft a few things. All right. So under this, the other new thing is the mining shaft. You put that over a copper node, and then you'll bring in automatically copper from that node into your global storage. That's a new crafting bench. These two are new crafting benches. I have tested these. These are working great. These are the storage and correspondence to them. And then you got down here. This is a new crafting bench. It's called the glass furnace. So they've added quite a bit into this game since the last patch. Okay, so let's go back here. Let's just look at them here. These are what some of the newer stuff look like. The automator, the debarker, is working just fine. It automates these two benches. So I've got to get some sawmills out, because that's one of the things with this game is you want to try to get the sawmills out early on. And what they'll do is automatically bring in logs for you. And then what happens is those logs get automatically fed into these two benches. So really a good part of Ars Notoria is an automation, like you see in like top-down city builder games. You get to automate all this resources coming into your kingdom, and then you use those resources to do other things. Now again, we're only in the testing environment of this game, so we're just looking at a small picture of the game currently just to test its mechanics. But this is the size of the current map. These are all the nodes that you can interact with, resources that you can gather, and then there's obviously monsters that you can interact with, and kill to get resources. And like this fox here, it will drop hide for you so that you can use the leather rack to make leather. One of the other big updates that they made to the game since we last played is bandit camps. And I think if I go in this direction, we'll find some. I'm just going to run around here so you can see how well and detailed the world is. This is another resource that you can collect in the game, and eventually you'll be able to grow these things. Again, the last 3 weeks, the developers have been working really hard into fixing all the bugs that were reported and implementing many of the suggestions people pointed out, saying, look, I think you should do this with the game, or I think you should do this. This is one of those peat nodes, and right here, this is where you'd put the hauling machine, and then it would pull the peat automatically out of the ground for you. Alright, so one of those bandit camps. I haven't fought any of the bandits. I haven't made any weapons. I've been really testing the workbenches. But here they are right here. These are new to the game. They got this military walk to them. If you notice, they got the head behind the heels walk. You see that in military dress, or when you watch a person walk. that's in the military, like really pompous. I guess that might not be the best word for it, but it's like your chest is out in front, but your head, back of your head is behind your heels. Like my head on my character is even with my feet, right? They're walking like proud and pompous kind of thing, like military things, military guys walk, but it's definitely noticeable, you know? It's like, oh, I'm a brute, don't mess with me. And you don't want to mess with those guys. Let me just run up here. I think they're like 10th level. They're 12th level. They're 12th level. So yeah, they would just, I would be all done. If I had to deal with having to fight them, I would be all done. All right, well, I wanted to make this video short just to show you the progress that they've made. So the key progress is they have fixed a huge amount of bugs that the game had. Those have been resolved. They've added content to the game to allow us to taste other portions of the game, other assets, other items that you can create so that we can test those. And then they've been slowly just releasing more and more to us to test once they button up concerns and suggestions that people make with the game. And a lot of the testers that I've been working with, they've been making some really good suggestions. I mean, this genre type of game is kind of normalized across all survival games and city builder games, and a lot of suggestions are just really players, you know, saying, look, you know, this is quality of life things. Can you add quality of life? And, you know, just do this or do that. And the developers have been really, you know, implementing that stuff. You know, they've been like, yeah, that makes sense. Let's implement that. So, you know, they've been doing a real good job. For testing purposes for the last 4 hours, I haven't found anything that has been concerning to me. Just a couple of housekeeping things, more of suggestions that I have made to them. So overall, this new update that they've made in this new testing environment, which they have done, I'm saying, you know, they're doing a good job. They've moved forward. It doesn't look like, you know, the system's plagued with, you know, the problems that they had before. Whoop. Those foxes like to jump behind you. That's the other thing what I like about the game is that each mob or each baddie or creature or whatever you want to call them, they kind of act differently, so it's just not vanilla. It's not like you're fighting the same actions over and over again, because games like that get boring. Imagine playing Dark Souls and then have every monster have the same mechanic. I mean, that would be boring as hell, right? So with this game, that's not really the case. So my next video that I'll be doing is I'll be building this house, because there's going to be furniture I can now make. If I go back to the build command, there's these other windows that I didn't show you. One being the furniture, the planer in the furniture building or woodworking table, and the carpentry workbench. That can be made. Then we've got this here, the grinding wheel in a forge. Again, a new thing that they've made for the game. So I haven't tested that out yet, but there was another thing that I wanted to. Okay, this is just the camping stuff. You can make all these things. That was in the last, and this is where you make the house, this interface. Once you make the carpentry bench, you can make the foundations, and then once you can make the foundations, you can put the walls on. And they revamped all the roofs, so now all the roofs make sense, and they're easier to get. I guess they're easier to get on your house now. I'll be testing that again in my next video on, you know, putting the house together. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that they've added. Like even here, they've added like grass. Like if you want to put a lawn out, you know, if you want to build a golf course, guess what? You can do it now. Cobblestone, so you can put cobblestone a road down if that's what you want to do, so you can make roads now. I mean, they've added so much since the last update. It's kind of crazy mode here. So we got beds. I got to unlock those. I think I got to unlock those by doing something. But all of this stuff is available. I probably have to unlock the furniture bench to unlock that. But overall, I'm seeing great things with this game. Just keep your eye on it. If you haven't wishlisted it yet on Steam, you should do that. I'm going to be testing it for some more, and I'll be showing you in my next video more of the stuff that I unlock. I'll have a house built. I'll have a bunch of stuff unlocked, and we can look at, the items at that time. All right, well, thank you for joining me, and this has been the Tarkus Zone.